everyone, Kim here at Abundant Life Tarot. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another installment of Where is the Deck? This is where I do a little quick series to share about some decks that I have collected over the years. Some I've shared with you all here on the channel, some I may not have shared yet. And I want to let you know what ended up happening with it. Where did it go? What I'm doing with that deck now. Do I still have it? Any good bits of information or insight that I have about what's going on with this deck in terms of production today. So that's what we're doing here in this video. And the deck that we're talking about is a deck called Enigma, a mysterious game. And it actually is a game board, so to speak, but it has cards that you can use for divinatory purposes, where you can divine with them. You can use it as an oracle, which is what I got the deck for. So why did I buy this deck? I got the deck because I really like the art style. It's like a post-war contemporary art where it looks like almost the propaganda posters, except in card form. And I love the color scheme that was associated with the cards. And it had different types of quirky keywords. I'm always here for really great keywords for an oracle deck. So I just was drawn to it, and I got the deck, I think it was November 2019. I purchased it off of Amazon at the time, and I just happened to see it on Amazon. I was like, oh, this is a deck that I could use. So yeah, that's why I bought it. The connection between me and the Enigma, I call it just the Enigma Oracle, is I really enjoyed using it for weekly card draws, for weekly readings I used to do on my Instagram and on the channel. And I think I also did it on Facebook. So way back when I was starting my social media for Abundant Life Tarot, I was doing readings for the collective on a weekly and monthly basis, and I always like to do tarot and oracle combos. And so the Enigma was one that I incorporated quite frequently during that time period of like 2019 into 2020. I was using that deck on a regular basis, and I did start to build a bond with it. I started to love seeing it visually on my reading table. I love the messages that were coming through. Some of the messages were a bit affronting but let me say this. The deck itself has a calm feel, even though the images are a bit of like kind of in your face, like the Beast card or the Devil card. You're like, oh, what does it mean? But when you look at the key words associated to each of the cards, it's not so bad. And here's the thing, this deck did start out as a game, not as a divinatory tool, from what I understand. So it's not going to have this feel of like, rosy, how do I say, easy to digest, calming, affirmative words for the keywords. It's just not what it was designed to do. And that's the charm of it for me. So yeah, like I wonder how it does work as a board game. I'm curious. It kind of plays like a bingo, like you would actually have to get like the cards or the, how like you have the bingo, what do you call them, sheets? I don't know what you call them, little papers where you kind of have to stamp off when it's called. And so it's a feel of that. It's kind of like a bingo game, but I never once used it in its game form. So my tips and comments about this deck is It's super helpful to print off the divinatory meanings page. Like I don't think there's a guidebook even still to this day. So the creator kindly made a whole like page full of meanings, like the keywords, and then the potential associations and meanings for each of the keywords. All of the cards are numbered, and so it's easy to follow that sheet. I printed that sheet and keep it in a binder with other PDF guides that I have for all my other Oracle decks that don't have guidebooks. I keep them all in like either spiral bound notebooks that I've created through Kinko's or FedEx, or binders that I buy and I just hole punch it and put it in there so it's handy for me to use. So just know that there is a guide out there if you end up getting a hold of the deck. And if you end up getting hold of the deck. And the other thing is, I do need to mention this about the Enigma, is that I went yesterday on Amazon to see if it's still sold there, and it's not. It in fact says out of print, and I was like, really? This deck is out of print? And then I just Googled the name of the deck, Enigma, a mysterious game. And it turns out that the creator now sells the deck on his website. So you can still get the deck. It is in print, but now he has decided, I'm assuming the creator has decided to not sell on Amazon anymore, to just sell it through his website. From what I see, the card size looks more like a traditional tarot size now, whereas the deck that I had, that the copy I purchased, was more of an oracle size deck, more square shaped, whereas from what I can see on the pictures on the website, it is tarot sized oracle cards, which that totally appeals to me. It is a tuck box, it looks like that's still the case today per the creator's website. And just you have the keywords, but feel free to associate your own keywords to the cards. Have your own meanings that you pick up on and you work with. Even the creator says that as a suggestion in working with the deck. These are just a guide. Come up with your own keywords that will work for you. And work with the deck on its own. Just do a 1 to 3 card spread or pull. Or you can work with it in conjunction with other oracle or other tarot decks. My honest feedback is that I think it's a quirky deck. It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone's aesthetic. I like to have different art styles represented in my deck collection. So it serves its purpose well. I don't have many decks like it in my collection at all. And I think that I could have done better about continuously working with it. There was a point when I got done doing readings for the collective and doing like Instagram weekly posts of readings and things, that this deck kind of fell by the wayside. And I just really stopped using it. I wasn't using it at all. And that's a bummer. It's a bummer when you have decks in your collection that you're not working with anymore, or that you wish you could work with more and it's just not happening. But that doesn't take away from it being a great deck. It also doesn't take away from you using it as, yes, a divinatory tool, but also working with it in its game form. So the feedback I have is that, it's not for everyone, but there are folks who could really appreciate working with this deck. And as I'm thinking about it now, and I've been thinking about this deck for the last week or so as I was preparing to make this video, I was thinking about all the different ways I could work with it now as my reading practice has evolved. The fun part. Where is the deck now? Where is it now? Where is it at? Do I still have it? Is it still in my collection? Did I sell it? Did I trade it? Did I give it away? Where is it? Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Where is it? Okay, well, it's here. I still have the Enigma. I'll call it Enigma Oracle. It's still in my collection. I didn't sell it. I didn't give up on it. Honestly, I did stop working with it. And I'm a little bummed about that because I pulled it out the other night and I was like, I really like it. I really like this deck a lot. I will put in the community tab the original unboxing, the full flip through of the cards so you all can see it. I'll just flip through some of the cards here. So yeah, I actually have some ideas on working with it. In fact, I pulled it out and used it in a client reading. And the way I used it in the client reading was, you see these numbers? You see these numbers up here in the corner? So I pulled three cards, and the numbers I added up and then reduced down to a specific number to look at timing for a situation. And so I looked at that, and I also looked at what was the image depicting or about her question. She had a question. I'm not going to divulge what that question is. That's not important to this conversation, but I was able to use just the numbers in the corner here. And then I looked here at the keyword and at the image to just flesh out a bit more about what I wanted to say in terms of timing of that situation. But yeah, it's just so different than what I have in my collection. And so what I decided to do now is to use it for like my mysterious circumstances, my mysterious readings, my Mystery Mystic Monday readings. And also just readings that don't necessarily fall into the fold of love. I mean, this deck you could use this in a love reading for sure, but I like how it has these different kinds of images and the keywords. Like, look at this, divining. And I really do appreciate the creator, the artist, keywords. I thought they were spot on. There was a couple that I'm like, I'm going to use my own interpretation, like the tooth card. And let me see. So I have this, like I mentioned before, the guide. So this shows you how to play the game. And then I actually, it looks like I numbered these in pink, the cards. And we have here all of the cards, all 54 of them. And I can't even show you because it's so faint, but all of the meanings are there. So as you can see, I hole punched this and put it in my binder of guides. So I'm going to be studying up on this deck and reacquainting myself with it and working with it some more. I also am thinking about different tarot decks I'm going to use with it. I'm going to maybe play around with some tarot and oracle combos with this deck in the future and see. I like that war card, and see what I come up with in terms of what's a great combination. Off the top of my head, I feel like the zombie tarot would work really well with it. I don't know. That's off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of another deck that could work with it, but here's the beast card. So yeah, you'll be seeing more of this deck as I get to know it better. That's what I will say. It's the sun. One more. And then they have a divining and then a divination, which I thought was interesting. So would I buy this deck again? That is the question. Like, if I had to do it all over again, would I buy it again? The answer is yes. I would definitely buy this deck again, even though I used it a lot when I got it, and then probably for a good chunk of 2020. But then from 2021 to now, 2023, I hadn't really been using it. That doesn't mean I don't like it, or I just kept it on the shelf. And I've gone through some big life changes, and many of the decks that I was using faithfully where I lived, thousands of miles away, I just wasn't using here in my practice today. But now I'm having a moment to get to know the decks that I used to use on a regular basis, get to know them again, and that's exciting. So yeah, I would definitely buy the Enigma deck again. So my final thoughts are, there are certain Oracle decks that are known as Oracle decks, but really they have they're rooted, or they're not actually an Oracle deck per se. They're a part of a playing card system game, or they follow their own structure. There's something different about them. The point is, you really can make any deck your oracle, what you are reading with. That is the joy of cartomancy, is that you can take certain decks that maybe wasn't designed in the beginning as a, divinatory tool, but you can make it your divinatory tool. So just bear that in mind. When I first saw it and I saw the funky imagery and the cool art style here, that drew me in. But then when I started working with it and feeling the personality out of this deck, I realized, oh, this is one that I like the hierarchy card. This is one that it's going to cause me to think and go a little bit deeper. And now I do certain types of readings that I need to go just beneath the surface here, like the hierarchy card for some of my career readings that I do for clients, or my mysterious circumstances readings. That is an archetype that I could really benefit from having in my card reading, right? You have the skull. So like I said, it's not going to have unicorns or, it's not frilly or fluffy or pastel-y. And look, I still love this. The card backs are just amazing. And in another video very soon, I'm going to talk to you about what I discovered when I was researching about where is this deck now in terms of if people can buy it these days. And I'll put a link in the description box below. But I found out that the artist, he is actually amazing. He has made a couple of other decks. He's made a tarot deck, and he's made an oracle deck, I believe, and another game, if you will, with cards. So I'm eyeballing the tarot deck that he made, but we'll talk more about that in another video. I have another video I need to crank out, and I need your help actually, because I need to decide if it's something I need to add to my collection or not. But my final thoughts is, it's a quirky deck, and I am so happy I have it. I'm so happy I did not get rid of it. It is still here. It traveled with me all the way from the United States to the Caribbean, and that makes me happy. Here it is, ready to be worked with. Isn't that something? It's ready to be worked with, and I'm excited about working with it. Do I want to do weekly draws anymore for the collective? No, I've moved on from doing those types of readings. However, the types of readings I do for audiences for the collective is, my mysterious circumstances readings, and this could come right in and help me out with them. So I'm excited to see how it works. So bear with me if you watch my Mystery Mystic Monday readings and I'm trying this deck out and getting re-familiar with it and all that stuff. Bear with me. It takes a moment for me to get reacquainted with the deck. But I take you all on my authentic journey so you can see it in real life of what a reader goes through when they are working with new tools, old tools, when they are trying to navigate what it is that they're interpreting. I like to share all of that with you. Okay, so that's it. I think that's it. I think that's my last bit that I wanted to share. So do me a favor on your way out. Please hit the like button. And if you already haven't done so, subscribe. And let me know that you are a new or old subscriber in the comment section below. Do you know this deck? Have you heard of the Enigma? Do you want this deck? Why or why not? Were you surprised that I actually still had it in my collection, or did you guess that I did have it in my collection? I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. All right, my friends, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.